Is college football okay? I asked y'all on my Twitter page at JD PicKell for your thoughts, and we got a smattering of different answers. Some people saying, it's not great, but I don't hate the place it's at right now. Some people saying that thing is absolutely off the rails. I hate where college football is right now. Here's my thought, man. I've said this many times on this show. I do not like the direction of college football. I don't like the direction. Now, when you say things like that, it sounds like you're speaking to college football as a whole as being in a bad spot. College football is not in a bad spot. There's a lot of things about this sport that are still tremendous. But in terms of direction, there's a lot of headlines out there that you and I are just not big fans of, man. There's a lot of things out there that don't feel quite as familiar to the fabric that we fell in love with when it came to when we first saw our first college football game, whether it was in person or you were listening to Keith Jackson on the broadcast. Like, there's a lot about it that doesn't totally align with what that era was. The transfer portal. I think player mobility is a great thing. It's out of control. We need regulation. We have the college football playoff changing every 5 minutes. Just changed last week when it comes to how we're going to see that thing. We've been pretty vocal about that. We thought 4 was good. We're going to go to 16, it feels like, here tomorrow. It might be the case. I have no idea when that's going to change, but looks like we're headed that direction. We have different things as it pertains to the way that NIL is being regulated or not regulated. Like there's a lot out there that just, again, doesn't feel foundational to what we fell in love with this sport, but we can hate the headlines and still understand that we have one of the greatest sports on the face of planet Earth. So the thing I've said for a while about college football, the comparison I've made, college football is a beautiful, beautiful national park full of natural beauty. Like you got the trees and the mountains, and you got the rivers, you got the bands, and you got the stadiums, and you got the feel on Saturday, you got noon kickoffs. There's so much about college football that just naturally, without any commercial push, is just beautiful. But what we're having happen now is we have some people that want to put a roller coaster in the middle of that national park. Why? Well, JD, it would make money. It would bring attention. It'd be a good thing. Well, yeah, it would make money if you put a roller coaster in the middle of Yosemite, but would it be good for the sport? Would it be good for the national park? I don't think so. So we're effectively trying to, as an entire population now, put a roller coaster in the middle of the national park that is college football with all those things I just mentioned. Now, with that being said, it's not a theme park just yet. It's still a national park. Like, I look at college football, and while I don't love that roller coaster in the middle of the whole thing, I still see a lot of the things that I fell in love with, that you fell in love with. We keep saying this, man, but like the soul of college football, I think, is still in there. Might be a little bit deeper than it was before, but it's still in there. You go watch Rivalry Saturday, you got folks getting pepper sprayed at the 50-yard line. It mattered to both those sides in that Michigan-Ohio State game. You got the Arizona State-Arizona game where you got a Triton being planted at midfield. You got, like, there's still a lot of soul, I think, behind this sport. And as long as that exists, college football, I think, is still going to be in a stable place. Now, the direction may not be tremendous, and we got to figure this thing out. We got to course correct a little bit. But that's the big thing, right? Like, college football is in a place where we are still figuring out how this whole thing is going to work. Like, I miss the Pac-12. You probably aren't the biggest fan of conference realignment, depending on where you are in this whole situation. But, like, college football isn't even where it's going to be yet for the next 20 years. And things still changing. We're in the evolving state right now. And so, while you're on a road trip, it's best to voice your opinion, but it's also best to be careful not to totally make a definitive statement. Like, nobody likes the guy complaining on the road trip. Nobody likes the guy that's just whining the entire time when you're getting to where you're eventually going to be. I happen to believe that eventually we're going to get to a place in college football where, I'm being optimistic here, but I think more intelligent minds will prevail and we'll find a way to preserve what this sport still is. But like, y'all, it's still, like I just said, it's an evolving process. Like, we had leather helmets in football for the better part of 15 to 20 years. We might take a second to figure out a college football playoff. It took us 15 years to figure out to put the right headwear on these guys, all right? Like, it's going to take some time. And so while it's okay for us to voice our, displeasure with the direction of this sport, I think it's also okay for us to say, as long as we still have what's special about this sport intact, we're in a spot where this isn't something worth totally just opening the car door and saying, I'm out of this thing, get me out of the vehicle. That's not where we're at just yet. So what would have me out on college football, which is a very dramatic way to say it, but I got to think about that when I started to answer this question, is college football okay? as long as game day is still recognizable, as long as there's still players enrolled at schools that care about that school enough to start a fight after the game, see rivalry weekend, I think we're okay. As long as those bands are still there, as long as all the differentiating factors that make college football are still visible, I think we're okay. Now, it's, again, evolving, so it's not going to be okay just because we say it's okay, but I really believe that we're going to be okay here long term. So that's my feel on this. If you don't like where we're at right now, I understand. I'm not even all the way disagreeing. There's a lot we don't like about this thing right now, but long term, I think we're going to get to a place where college football ultimately is okay and will be okay. And I keep saying this. There's too many intelligent people that care about college football to let this sport go down a path that is ultimately going to lead in just ultimate disaster. Some disastrous things happening along the way, but ultimate disaster, I don't see that happening for us here long term.